Alright, we're going to go over some more relations in sketch mode of Solidworks. Go up here to new. I want a new part. I'm going to use the front plane. I'm going to sketch some lines, random, and then close off this particular sketch so it's a complete unit. I'm going to draw a circle, and we're going to go through and add another line. Let's see, just one line. So if I want to erase this one line here, highlight it, you can hit the delete key on the keypad to get rid of it. Okay, these are just random sketches and nothing spectacular. Well, let's go up here and add relation. I'm going to select this line and this line, and it gives us all kinds of different relations we can add to it. Horizontal means it's going to lock it to the horizontal plane in this on the front mode or front plane that we're drawing on. Vertical means up and down, vertical. Collinear means two lines will stay on top of each other. They will be exactly in the same line. Perpendicular is 90 degrees to any other line. Parallel is the two lines would be parallel to one another. They wouldn't be, let's try something here. We'll draw a line here, it's kind of got an angle to it, and we'll draw another line that has the opposite angle to it. Okay, so if I add a relation to, see how these are not parallel, and let's say I wanted those two to be parallel, I would click them both up, put them in the selection box, and then hit parallel. And that now comes up with the little green square here with two lines in it. That means it's parallel. And again, in the other video I explained if you hover over that, the two items that have a relation, they turn to purple instead of blue. Okay? So let's say we want to add a relationship between this line, and that I can force it to be, let's say, perpendicular, which is 90 degrees to that line. And again, it adds a little perpendicular green square there. So with that being said, if this is now locked perpendicular to this line, so if I move this line's orientation in any way, that will always stay perpendicular to whatever the angle of this particular line is. So we covered parallel. Let's say we want this line and this line to be parallel. I can click on this and this. Hold on one second. Let's go up here, add relation. I'd already picked up line 3 because it was highlighted already. We'll pick up this line and we'll call those parallel. So now they have the parallel green box. So if I move any one of these, they will always stay parallel. So that's parallel, perpendicular. The only one we don't use concentric so much in sketch mode, but later on when we do mates and stuff like that, then concentric is more used. So if we want these two circles to be concentric, there's a couple of ways. We could draw this. We could take this point here. Let's get out of this add relationship. Take this point and then lock it like that, coincidental. It automatically snaps. See the yellow little box? It's showing that it wants to be coincidental. Not coincidental, concentric. But let's say I want to do this and just pick this circle and pick this circle. It gives me tangent, concentric, equal. Equal you use in sketch a lot. I'll explain that in just a second. Let's do concentric. It should force the two circles on top inside of one another. Basically, it's saying the center point of both those circles are in the same location. So now we have concentric between these two circles. I can still size them, but they'll always be inside themselves. Now let's say we do multiple circles on a sketch, and these are all going to be the same size. I don't want to dimension each one of these, so using the equal relation, I just pick up this circle, this circle, this circle, this circle, and I call them equal, and it forces them all to the equal size. So now when I put a dimension on just one of these circles, it'll force all those rest that have the equal to be the exact same size, 2 inches. Come on. All right. I don't want that. That's why it's doing that. I'm in dimension mode. So just rebuild this once. I'll right click and then edit sketch. So I enter in. So now I can move these, but they'll all be 2 inches. If I change that to 1 inch, then they all change to 1 inch. There's a couple of different ways we can do this if we have patterns and things like that. But we covered now equal. We covered concentric. We covered parallel, perpendicular. Another point of when we're doing, if we wanted to add a line to the middle of this line, no matter what it is, see how it changes? The yellow box changes from like touching on that line to this one right here with the 2 lines in between. That is going to snap the line, or that point of the line, to the midpoint of that line. And as you can see, this yellow, that's going to give us our perpendicularity. So it kind of tells us where perpendicular is, if that's what you choose. And if I click on that, then it'll lock the relationship perpendicular to that line. I don't want that for right now. I was pointing out this midpoint. See how that green box now, it says midpoint? So that means if this line gets longer or shorter, it'll always force it to the midline of this particular line right here. So these are some other relations that we can add to sketch mode. They become somewhat useful in mating and assembly modes and things like that. So you'll use these a lot. What other ones am I missing? Add relation. Fixed means it's going to be fixed. That can't change the location or the line length or anything. Sometimes that's useful. Vertical and horizontal. Okay, so with these being concentric, these two, if I pick up this outside circle and then I call it tangent, it forces that circle to be tangent on that line, which I did another video showing that. So if I pull this out, you can see how that's always going to be the, basically tangent is anywhere from the center line out to the arc that meets this line. And these are concentric, so if I make this arc smaller now, it's got to pull the center point to it. Or if I move this line in or out, it forces that arc along with that. Now I could put a dimension between these two arcs, 0.66. Now what happens if I move this line here, it'll maintain the center arc too now. And it'll always have a 6/6 wall thickness. Oops. So these are some other relations in sketch mode. As you can see, all of these lines are blue. Nothing is fully defined here. And maybe I'll make a video about fully defined sketches. And this is a bad example of sketching because, I don't know, you really can't extrude it or make anything from it. But this is a 2D sketch. And let's go ahead and rebuild it. I'm just going to say close that, disregard change, cancel. What am I doing here? So if I disregard the sketches, edit sketch, it still hangs on to, the tangent didn't hold up. So anyways, those are other relations in sketch mode. Thank you for watching.